Okie dokie. Hello and welcome. I've been having a good week. I hope you have had a good week as well. Yesterday, I believe. Yeah, yesterday I went on a fantastic date with this girl that I've been seeing for the past couple weeks, and it seems to be going really well, and I'm excited to see where it goes. And she surprised me yesterday by giving me an early birthday present. I was not expecting it, and I was super flattered when she got it. And I think it suits me very well. She got me this necklace. I can see if I can take it off without having to unclasp it. But let's see if I can get the camera to look at it, because the letters are a little small. But maybe it's a little hard to see. But essentially it's a sword and a cross, and it has an inscription that says, "I can do all things through God who strengthens me." And I think it was a very sweet present, and probably my favorite so far. And I'm probably going to end up wearing it a lot, just because it suits me, I guess. And I really appreciate that she was so thoughtful. And if she's watching right now, hi, welcome, and thank you. I hope to see you again soon. And during our date, we talked about poetry. And we talked about books and whether or not we like to read versus listen to books. And that got me thinking about some books that I haven't really touched on. And I went looking through my bookshelf to look for poetry books, and I have like 2 Edgar Allan Poe books for some reason. But they're like different editions. Like one's from like 2010 and the other one's from like 2018 or something, or I don't know. One's like way older than the other. There. But I was trying to find poetry that was inspiring and romantic and not so depressing, I guess. I like Edgar Allan Poe, but some of his poetry is a little sad. It's very melancholic, despite being beautiful in its language. So I wanted to try and look for a poet that had a bit more liveliness to his words. And I ended up finding this book while I was out with a friend a few months ago, and they were getting rid of a bunch of old books from a library that just the books had seen better days, and not many readers were checking them out anymore, so they were selling them for fairly cheap. This one is a collection of poems by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, if you can see that. Yeah. And it's lightly damaged. scratched. It's got like little stains and like a couple tears in the cover, but I haven't found any ripped or bent pages or anything. It just is a little beat up. But that just tells me that it's been read through a lot. And I didn't actually know who this poet was until I saw this book. I wanted to get poetry books, and I looked up his name, and it turns out he's like one of the most famous American poets. I think he wrote his poems in the like early 1900s, and a lot of his poems are about love and masculinity and heroism, and he has a few poems that are patriotic and talk about history and whatnot. Some of them are just poems about life, and other ones are more poems that are basically short stories, but like very short. I skimmed through it, and it has a lot of cool illustrations, like even just in the cover. So the inside says, "Thus at the flaming forge of life, our fortunes must be wrought. Thus on its sounding and shaped, thus on its sounding anvil shaped, each burning deed and thought." And a really cool illustration of a blacksmith. And I figured, since that was the illustration that they went with for the very first thing you see when you open the book, I wanted to read to you today the poem that goes along with this illustration, and a couple others after it, because I read through the ones after it, or I didn't read them, I looked at them and skimmed them, I guess. I wanted to basically react to them with you, and to see if they strike a chord. So, let's see. Also, I have this like table easel that I can also use to put my books on, so that I'm not having to like hunch over and read. I can just put them right next to me, and I can read here and then look at you when I want to talk to you, I guess. I'm probably going to play around with this and just see how it looks. Some of the people that watched my earlier videos said that they really liked the format that was me sitting with you and talking with you. And I think that this works. It's similar to like as if we were sitting in class together and chatting, I suppose, about whatever it is I choose to study that day. So, I'm going to read, let's say I'm going to read 3 poems for you today, and it shouldn't take too long. I've been here for 10 minutes, I guess. I feel like I've delayed our beginning here a little too long, so I'm going to hop right into our first poem. village blacksmith. Under a spreading chestnut tree, the village smithy stands. The smith, a mighty man is he, with large and sinewy hands, and the muscles of his brawny arms are strong as iron bands. His hair is crisp and black and long. His face is like the tan. His brow is wet with honest sweat. He earns whate'er he can, and looks the whole world in the face, for he owes not any man. Week in, week out, from morn till night, you can hear his bellows blow. You can hear him swing his heavy sledge with measured beat and slow, like a sexton ringing the village bell. When the evening sun is low, and children coming home from school look in at the open door, they love to see the flaming forge and hear the bellows roar and catch the burning sparks that fly like chaff from a threshing floor. He goes on Sunday to church and sits among his boys. He hears the parson pray and preach. He hears his daughter's voice singing in the valley choir, and it takes his heart rejoice. It sounds to him like her mother's voice. Sing in paradise. He needs must think of her once more, how in the grave she lies, and with his hard, rough hand he wipes a tear out of his eyes. Toiling, rejoicing, sorrowing, onward through life he goes. Each morning sees some task begun. Each evening sees it close. Something attempted, something done, has earned a night's repose. Thanks to thee, my worthy friend, for the lesson thou hast taught. Thus, at the flaming forge of life, our fortunes must be wrought. Thus, on its sounding anvil shaped, each burning deed and thought. I like that one. I like that one a lot. It's very... It just screams blue-collar man. And even though it's a blacksmith, it just feels so American. The way we live our life, the way we work hard. We sweat the day away and do every deed that we can before we have to go to bed. And despite all of our hard work, we make time for our families. And kind of makes me hope that one day when I've worked my craft hard enough and made a good example of what a godly and hardworking man is, that when I finally have children, that they can look upon me and see me in that kind of way. A strong, dependable, loving man. to poem number 2, and this one is titled Endymion. The rising moon has hid the stars. Her level rays, like golden bars, lay on the landscape green, with shadows brown between. And silver white, the river gleams, as if Diana, in her dreams, had dropped her silver bow upon the meadows low. On such a tranquil night as this, she woke Endymion with a kiss. When sleeping in the grove, he dreamed not of her love. Like Diana's kiss, unmasked, unsought, love gives itself, but is not bought. Nor voice nor sound betrays its deep, impassioned gaze. It comes, the beautiful, the free, the crown of all humanity, in silence and alone, to seek the elected one. It lifts the boughs, whose shadows deep are life's oblivion, the soul's sleep, and kisses the closed eyes of him who slumbering lies. O weary hearts, O slumbering eyes, O drooping souls, whose destinies are fraught with fear and pain, ye shall be loved again. No one is so accursed by fate, no one so utterly desolate, but some heart, though unknown, responds unto his own, responds as if with unseen wings, an angel touched its quivering strings, and whispers in its song, where hast thou stayed so long? I can really resonate with this one. It's been a long time since I've actually had an actual relationship, because it's just, for me, I'm not terribly picky, but sometimes it's just difficult if you're looking in the wrong places, I suppose, to find someone that meets your needs for love. And it reminds me of a quote: if you want to make God laugh, you make a plan. And for a long time, I felt like I was trying really, really hard to find romance in my own way, I suppose. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna go talk to this person, or I'm gonna be on this dating app, or oh, no one's gonna love me until I have like a certain amount of muscle or a certain amount of money or whatever. But I've been working out for me, and I stopped worrying so much about, like, I do want to make money, but I don't stress about it. I just work hard and do what I can and believe in myself. And when it comes to love, you can't really force it. And I think in a way, it's more genuine when you kind of just let go and stop worrying. Because you're always going to be yourself, and it's healthier to be ready for it when it comes, or just allow it to come when you least expect it, and to just relax, and maybe when you feel like you're dreaming of other things for your life, love and romance and friendships and good things will come to you when it's time for them to come to you. So, like how the poet mentions it towards the end of the poem, don't worry so much. Live your life, and the things that you need in your life will come to you when you actually need them. They won't always come to you when you want them. But when they do come, it will feel like you were waking from a dream. Or perhaps it'll make you feel like you're just experiencing a new one. But, I would say just don't lose hope. And, just enjoy the moment. And, for our last poem, Maidenhood. Maiden, with the meek brown eyes, in whose orbs a shadow lies, like the dusk in evening skies. Thou whose locks outshine the sun, golden tresses wreathed in one, as the braided streamlets run, standing with reluctant feet, where the brook and river meet, womanhood and childhood fleet. Gazing with a timid glance on the brooklet's swift advance, on the river's broad expanse, deep and still, that gliding stream, beautiful to thee must seem, as the river of a dream. Then why pause with indecision, when bright angels in thy vision beckon thee to fields Elysian? Seest thou shadows sailing by, as the dove with startled eye sees the falcon's shadow fly? Hearest thou voices on the shore that our ears perceive no more, deafened by the cataract's roar? O thou child of many prayers, life hath quicksands, life hath snares. Care and age come unawares, like the swell of some sweat, like the swell of some sweet tune. Morning rises into noon. May glides onward into June. Childhood is the bough, where slumbered birds and blossoms, many numbered. Age, that bough with snows encumbered. Gather then each flower that grows, when the young heart overflows, to embalm that tent of snows. Bear a lily in thy hand, gates of brass cannot withstand one touch of that magic wand. Bear through sorrow, wrong, and wrath. In thy heart the dew of youth, O thy lips the smile of truth. O that dew, like balm, shall steal into wounds that cannot heal. Even as sleep our eyes doth seal, and that smile, like sunshine, dart into many a sunless heart. For a smile of God thou art. I'm trying to understand what the actual meaning of this poem is. I'm not sure if it's about... I'm not sure if it's just about blossoming into a woman, or if it's talking about like going from childhood into womanhood and then into being an old woman and then dying. I'm not really sure. I think it's mostly just a poem about a woman's life, and that you gotta enjoy each stage of it, your childhood, and then enjoy your young womanhood. I'm not really sure. Let's see if I can look it up, because I want to learn with you here. So, the poem's name is Womanhood. Meaning of womanhood by Henry Longfellow. Let's see here. It seems to be a little difficult to find the actual meaning of the poem. Maybe this one's not as popular with academics. I think it's because there might be other ones within his collection that are better at capturing the likeness of a woman. I've seen list with poems that have a specific woman's name mentioned, and maybe those ones are more studied than this one, but the lesson that I got from it was to enjoy your becoming an adult. In this specific case, it's talking about a woman, and I think it's a beautiful poem. It's just, I haven't read something with such flowery wording in a long time, so it's kind of going over my head a little bit. If you know the meaning of this poem, please comment and share. I would love to learn. Now, I believe that's all 3 poems that I wanted to do today. But, I might do more. I do like his way of writing. Now, maybe I'll just go to the very beginning of the book and just read the poems all the way through. If this becomes a popular thing, or if I just feel like making poetry videos. But I believe that'll be it for tonight. And I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that I've helped you fall asleep, or at least relax. And maybe with time, if we read more poetry together, we'll end up becoming more cultured, I suppose. I never heard of this author before. I don't know why it was never taught in my classes, but apparently this author, Henry Wadsworth, is it Wadsworth? Yeah, it's Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. So, I suppose that I might be reading more from this book, because it is just jam-packed with poems. Some of them are longer than others, but I think there might be some good wisdom and good romance within it. But as December is approaching, I might switch over to more season appropriate themed videos. And maybe we can do one of maybe some scary stories, like scary Christmas stories, because there are some I guess you could call them cryptids, I suppose. Creatures that are meant to make children behave during the winter months and to appreciate their presence and not be bratty about not getting everything that they wanted for Christmas. And there are the typical winter monsters that Americans are familiar with now, like the Wendigo. That one's just been done to death, so I'm probably not going to touch that one. there might be other short stories about winter and the cold that might be worth exploring. But in terms of poetry, I feel like this is something that I'm going to keep coming back to, because I don't feel like I've read enough poetry in my youth beyond what was required of me in class. So I feel like reading this together will be enriching, and I hope you found it enriching. And if you like these kind of videos, please come back and check out more of my content. I'm sure somewhere towards the end of the video there's going to be, most likely over here, there's going to be a box with a playlist of my videos, and I hope you check them out if you like what I'm doing here. I appreciate you stopping by, and I hope that you come